What is the midwifery model?
Most succinct format is basically women-centered care for women, by women mostly. I mean, there are men in midwifery, but the midwifery model comes from the premise that the woman is centered, the person is centered in the care and is a partner in the care, is supported by not only being treated, but educated and encouraged to bring forward her thoughts, her wishes, her desires. The midwifery model care is really person-centered care, woman-centered care, family-centered care. And those models across the board have always been much more effective in getting women to full health and in having them feel fully empowered in the experience of childbirth.
What can other health professionals learn from the midwifery model?
I think that we know that inside of the scope of practice of a midwife, that they are charged with taking care of women who are low risk, women who don't have complications and problems. But that model in any other discipline can still be applied the same way. The tenets of the model that are particularly of value are the listening, the compassionate care, the non-judgmental care. Any provider in any discipline can provide care that way. In fact, I'm absolutely convinced that every one of us that chose a medical path came into this work from the perspective of, I would love to serve and support my fellow human beings. I would love to be there in a meaningful way. I would love to make a difference. And as we go through the training and as we go through our work and as we become part of, bigger and more unwieldy systems, we lose that ability to fulfill on that intention and that dream. I think with midwifery, one of the types of care models where we go at maybe a slower pace, where we take more time, where we have more opportunity for independence in how we function and how we practice. Midwifery allows all of us to be able to slow down a minute and just really enjoy being the professional that we aim to be, and to be able to provide care that gives that support and feedback to us as the provider, as well as enables and empowers and supports the woman and her family through this experience. So regardless of whether it's cardiology or dermatology, that underlying piece where when we're providing medical care, we are also coming from a place of service, a place of compassion. And typically we feel a whole lot better when we can work that way.
Is the midwifery model reproductive justice applied care?
I think it's a very close match, but it still has work in terms of, in anything. I think in the United States, in the way we operate, we have decades old, if not centuries old, ways of being and biases that play into all of our professions. And it is difficult to tease out sometimes where those biases lie. But because they are there, many unconscious, but some of them are purposefully there, they do make a difference. So midwifery, like any other discipline, has its areas where more work could be done. So midwifery is an answer in terms of perhaps the model itself, what the model stands for, that woman-centeredness, that management and support of normal processes. Yes, but in terms of reproductive justice, we still see disparities. We still see issues where the women themselves are not necessarily getting the complete model, because racism seeps into any and everything we do in the United States. Institutionalized racism is part of the problem. Classism, sexism, power. These things are unfortunately a part and parcel of our everyday lives, and all of us are impacted. And it is a difficult thing to even face, let alone fix. So I think across the board, we all have to keep looking at ourselves, our individual selves, our agencies, our profession as a whole,